Good evening, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Hello to everyone who is here and who's going to join us. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Comfort Session. आज का comfort session is on happening on Eid's second day in Pakistan and first day in India, so it's kind of special. And we are very fortunate to have a very special guest who is going to be joining us all the way live from Mumbai. She's actress par excellence, and she has some stellar performances under her belt. She has given some amazing performances in some of the very memorable movies and yeah, that we have seen. And she has been at the forefront of some other social causes as well, which is very heartening to see that someone talks about things which people usually ignore, like quarantine time. Like she was speaking about some social issues that were not being addressed properly. I'm talking about Soni Razdan, who has joined us from Mumbai, and I will now bring her inside this session.
Hello, here
Hi.
you are. How are you?
Yes. Hello. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. Eid Mubarak.
ईद मुबारक जी आपको भी ठीक ठाक हैं?
Yes. बहुत सब कुछ ठीक ठाक है. Thank you. Yeah.
चलिए, good to have you. Thank you so much for giving us time on Eid's
Thank
first day
you.
in
Thank
India.
you for asking me. One second. Let me make this louder. Yeah. Now
Sure,
that's good. Hmm.
sure. Thank you so much. मैंने कहा ईद का first day in India, यहाँ पे दूसरा दिन, so I'm sure you must be busy. But thank you for coming.
I've just eaten our biryani and all kinds of things, and now I'm chatting with you.
So who cooked the biryani, Mahisha or you? You guys both cooked it up.
Not Mahesh for sure, and this time I didn't either. But I have to say that normally I make biryani when it's not Eid. Then there's a special recipe I have, which is from someone in Karachi. So I
Oh
got it by
wow.
Karachi biryani, and it is outstanding. I mean, there is no biryani that equals that, and there's lots of ghee that goes into it. So, but this time I didn't make it because I wanted a holiday from the cooking.
No, I can understand. मैं
Yeah.
देख रहा था you guys आपने post की हुई थी कोई. I think you were making some pizza sauce or something together.
That's right. We were not exactly making it together. I was making it, and then Mr. Bhatt came into the kitchen and wanted to participate. And he's been telling me he wants to cook for a long time. So I said, "Chalo, then you can do this." So he did some, additions and some stirring, and he was quite happy. But after that, he hasn't ventured into the kitchen because I think he's too busy doing other stuff. But I think
He's like,
it's his fervent desire to learn how to cook. But we are very
yeah.
scared to teach him because God knows, it'll take very long. He has no connection with cooking yet. So anyway, let's.
Yeah, maybe he'll totally get over it, or maybe he'll start.
Yeah, we should actually. It's a good time to do all these things.
Yeah, correct. So how's your quarantine been going? You've been doing some fantastic, raising voice on mental health and all those issues that people are facing. So what have you been up to? Like, आप क्या करती रही हैं quarantine के time? Because it's total lockdown in India.
It is. It's the I think the strictest lockdown is in places like Maharashtra where we have a lot of cases, and that's very obviously natural because of the population density in our city. So it's something that is bound to happen. Well, I have been trying to do various things. When it first started, a lot of the time I was spending in cooking because the lady who comes to cook, she's a part-time lady and she couldn't come because it's not safe to bring somebody. Yeah, firstly, we're not allowing anybody to come into the.
Right.
Secondly, there's no transport. Thirdly, it's not safe. So a lot of the cooking I was doing and enjoying it very much. And the problem started happening when I started enjoying the cooking and the eating too much. So now I decided I will try to stay out of the kitchen and make very simple, boring food so that I don't feel like eating it because that's what I was doing and it was not doing me any good, let me tell you. But I think at that time I needed it because I've realized one thing, that when there is such a stressful situation externally, there is a certain I would say, mechanism which kicks into you, where, you know, it's maybe a self-protection mechanism. But you want to start nurturing your body, you want to start nurturing yourself. And one of the ways in which we do that is eating food. And it's a very natural thing to do. So one shouldn't be guilty for it. Food is a very good thing. So, yeah, it's just that in my case, I think I love food too much. So, you know, people like me should be a little careful. So
You
that's
have
one
fans?
thing I was doing. Yeah, and then the other thing I'm doing is my yoga, which is something I'm very happy about because I'm not able to do it normally as much as I like to, simply because you're always running around either doing shooting or you're traveling, or, you know, life has become very erratic. So to have a discipline and actually do yoga so many times a week becomes very difficult. Also, I do a very, very exertive kind of yoga. It's a very sort of active yoga. It's called Ashtanga yoga, which is it's just very, you know, it makes you sweat from head to toe, and it's sort of very
You do it
dynamic.
alone, like at home, or it's like a class?
No, I used to go to a class,
Okay.
but I've done it for so many years now that actually yoga is actually self-practice. I mean, the whole point of yoga is finally you should always be able to practice it wherever you are alone. So I can do it very easily self-practice. But the good thing about this is that I'm also teaching my husband some of that yoga. And that, of course, I'm calling up my teacher and saying, okay, what do I do? How do I, you know, what do I tell him? You know, what do I do with him? And also I'm getting the instruction from my teacher. Wouldn't venture to do that otherwise. And he's enjoying it very much. So I think both of us are now doing this thing almost together most of the time. It's great fun. Yeah. So
That's great.
that's the other thing we're doing. Yeah. Which is at least keeping us healthy, you know.
Yeah, of course. Is he a good student?
He's a very good student. He's very good. Yeah, he's very disciplined. So he follows. If he's a teacher, he follows a teacher like a you know, fanatic. So he doesn't question anything. He does it, and that's how he's getting into it. And he's actually a great student to have for any teacher, I have to say.
That's great. That's great. So you, abhi cooking ki baat ho rahi thi. So you have a interesting background, like German Kashmiri, if I'm not wrong.
That's
So Kashmiris so are, like, you know, known for food. I'm one, so I know that food is something that keeps us alive. If there is anything downturn, we look towards foods for comfort. So what Kashmiri foods do you cook mostly at home? Which ones are you pro at?
I'm very boring when it comes to Kashmiri food. My grandmother was a very good cook. But when it comes to Kashmiri food, yeah, I cook mostly vegetarian because my husband is a vegetarian. So the mutton paneer, and you know, paneer is very big in Kashmiri cooking. And unfortunately, you don't get a lot of, you know, the good, what do you call, the lotus roots and all. You don't get very good ones here. So I can't really make those things very well. So very simple things like mutton paneer, and then the bangan, the khatte bangan. I make, and the malu and all those things. And
no vishtaba or anything.
No, but I make the kofte sometimes, which is an art, you know, to make. Yeah, it's very delicate cooking. But I think, yeah, Kashmiri wise, I have to learn a lot more of that cooking. And when it comes to continental, I'm a whiz at that. I mean, that's something very easy. But even Indian food, all Indian food. Basically, I love food now, so I like to cook.
Yes, of course. Of course. Yeah, that comes with the genes. Kashmiri gene ke andar attached hai. Food loving.
Must be.
So how did acting come about? Like, jab aapne start kiya, like, so you always wanted to do it, or like it happened accidentally, or what was the starting point?
I think a lot of career choices for people happen through a series of happy accidents. I mean, acting is something, you know, you can't. I didn't come from any background of any theater, film people. My father and mother, touch wood, they're both still living. My father is an architect, and he's at 91. He's still practicing, and he's quite an incredible man. My mother used to be a nursery school teacher, so my background is so alien when it comes to films, TV, all that. In those days, of course, there wasn't even any TV when I was growing up. So how did I come about it? Well, one day in my school, you know, when I was 12 years old, there was this company which came into the school. They're looking for kids to do a pantomime. Very famous theatre company from Bombay. and they wanted to recruit kids to do this pantomime. So they were doing auditions. So I got the script, and I read the script and I auditioned for something. But I remember the exact moment when I knew that this is my calling was one evening. It was after dinner. I was in my living room. I was only 12 years old, and I was reading the script. And when I was reading the script, I said, this is what I want to do all my life. Read scripts and act. I didn't know whether I had the talent, or I didn't know whether I could do it or not, because I was so young and I had no experience.
That
That
12
was
is
my first
nothing.
experience on stage. I would say it all amateur stage, but it was at least on stage where people were watching.
Stage is the most difficult.
It wasn't
Stage
a
is
school
most
show.
difficult.
You know what I mean? It was a public showing. So
This
it was
stage
first
is the most
experience that I
difficult,
had.
na?
Is it the most difficult? It is, yes, but like everything else, it's a technique. Once you know the technique, and once you do it, and once you are confident, and once you've done it enough times, you just start getting better and better at it. So it's always the thing, practice makes perfect.
What's your trick when you did it? The first one you are bata rahi hain. So what was your trick to black out the audience? Like, what did you have in mind? Ki, yaar, I'm gonna ignore people in front of me.
I don't know, because I think what happens is, you see, when it's in you, then as an actor, when you are on stage, you are the most comfortable. Before you get on stage, you're very frightened. You're nervous. Your heart is beating fast. You're feeling like you want to die and you want to run away, and you think, shit, why did I become an actor? I never want to get on stage in front of an audience. But the minute you're on the stage, somehow that's where you just relax, and you just and I think it's the lights which come at you. You don't see the audience. You just see the lights. It bleaches out everything. It creates your world, and I think that's what the actor's job is anyway, to create. You already have your world. You create it for the people, and then you draw them into it. So you're in a lot of interaction with the audience when you're on stage, and that's what's, I think, the magic of theater.
So then uske baad when you so then it started. So what was your first big break into after the stage, like as far as films are concerned? When was the first time you came into it?
I can't remember now. I was doing
was it with Aparna Sen?
Yeah, that's right. 36 Charangile. Yeah. But again, that came about because some people saw me on stage in the Prithvi Theatre, which is the Shashi Kapoor, who produced Charangile. Yeah. So that's how they found me, and they said, come and do. Yeah. So that's how it started, actually.
Okay, that's great. And I mean, like, abhi jo, like, things are happening, like, with quarantine and all that, like, we're speaking about mental health and all that. So do you have like any ek to aapne kaha na yoga, you do yoga, but I mean, like, apart from that, like, what is something that keeps you calm when you're facing something challenging? Like, ye to corona everyone is facing, but like, work wise, life wise, like, when something challenging comes up, so how do you cope with it? Like, what is your mechanism that our viewers can learn from?
I don't know, really. I don't think I have a mechanism as such. I think my way of dealing with issues and tension is to face it head on. I don't try and put things off. I try and solve the issue. I tackle the issue as immediately as I can. But I have learned one thing, and that is, if you have a problem, always sleep on it. Because what is seeming very, very stressful today, the next morning can be completely different. You can get a completely different perspective, or maybe when you're sleeping, something in your brain solves the problem, or whatever. So I've realized that never, although I say immediately, when I say immediately, I mean, if it's something which you feel is too stressful, don't try and solve it that very moment. Take a step back and sleep on it. And very often what happens is, the next morning your problem doesn't seem half as big. And also, yeah, and there's another philosophy which I have, which is the song of the Beatles, Let It Be. Sometimes you cannot push against a wall or a tide or a big river flowing against the way you want to go. Let it
Correct,
be, let
correct.
it be. What has to happen will happen. If it's meant to happen, it will. And sometimes you just need to allow things to kind of settle down before, you know, before they get resolved. So this
Correct,
is
correct.
how I tend to deal with things, and it usually works. I'm the kind of person who doesn't like confrontation. I don't like picking up the phone and yelling at somebody and saying, you know, why do you
Sure.
do this? I try to so that I like in that sense I try to avoid it. But I'd rather solve the problem by discussion and by you know, pyar
Correct.
se.
Correct, correct, correct. Yeah, that's a good approach. That's a good approach. Confrontation, all I hardly recall any problem getting solved with confrontation. It always
No,
escalates.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree. I
it
agree, and
always
everybody gets pissed off, and then you know, they don't want to, they don't want
exactly,
to engage with you after that. So I think
exactly.
sometimes you just need to leave people alone, leave the problem alone, leave yourself alone,
Yeah,
do something else, go for a walk, you know,
yeah. Yeah, just calm
just do
down.
something completely different. Take your mind off it. I know it's very
Mm,
difficult. It is very
mm,
difficult
mm,
because when you're upset about something or when something is
mm,
bothering you, you can't let go
mm.
of it very easily. It's not that easy, but
True,
it's a good
true.
thing to try and practice because it really works.
It
It makes
does.
a big difference when you take a step back and you try and let
Mm.
things kind of like click into place by
Mm.
themselves. Yeah.
That is true. That is true. Abhi, आपने you recently did a amazing film, No Fathers in Kashmir. So tell
Yes.
us about that. Like, how did that come into play? Like, when you read the script, like, did you immediately knew that this is like, you know, you're born to do this? Like, it's amazing script and like everything. So tell us about
Arey,
that.
that's a very funny story, actually.
Okay.
I came to know about No Fathers in Kashmir, the film, maybe
Mm.
more than a year before we actually started shooting.
Acha.
And the reason I came to know about it was that I don't know how, but on Facebook or something, I don't know the director at all, Ashwin Kumar. I didn't know him from
Mm.
Adam. He didn't know me. Somehow he sent me a message on Facebook or something. I can't remember what it was. And the minute I heard No Fathers in Kashmir, something clicked in my brain. I said, you know what, Ashwin,
Mm.
if there's a role in this for me, please think of me
Mm.
for it. He said, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
of course.
uh,
Cut to maybe a year later, I met him
mm.
because he wanted to.
Mm.
I met him just casually. I think he wanted to meet
Mm.
somebody in Vishesh Films, producer, was, you know, all that
Mm.
kind of thing. And
Mm.
again, I told him, I said, give me a role, no? There's a role of, he
Mm.
said, there's a role of this Halima, this grandmother,
Halima.
but you're too young for that role.
Mm.
So I said, no, I'm not. You'll be surprised. I can, you see, it's my job to look that
This is during
little
Razi
shade of
was
the, yeah.
shooting, or this is after Razi? This is during Razi, was when Razi was happening?
I think this was, no, we shot No Fathers in Kashmir before we shot Razi. This was before
Okay.
Razi. Yeah,
Okay.
it
Okay.
released much later.
Okay.
So we shot the film anyway. So he said, no, you're too young to play the grandmother. So almost had to force him to cast me. Finally, he said, okay, I'll give you an audition. He must have said, chalo, I'll give an audition. Then I can say, sorry, you don't suit the role. So forget it. So I gave the audition. Then for 1 month, I never heard anything from him. So I said, chalo, okay, I mean, nahi hua. So it's okay. I don't mind. It's fine. And suddenly one day I get a call from him. Hey, we're ready to shoot. I said, yeah, but you never told me anything about this film. I'm very busy. I don't have time, you know, to do your film. But of course, I wasn't busy. I was waiting. So then we went and shot, and then the rest, as they say, is history. It was really a very, very remarkable project to be a part of. And you see, the reason I wanted to be a part of it so much was because I had read the script, and I found it an outstanding script, a wonderful story. And I felt, the minute I was reading it, I felt, my God, this is somebody who really knows Kashmir. He knows the heartbeat of Kashmir. He knows what the people feel. He knows the problems
The
there.
pain
He
and the
knows the
agony.
issues there.
The name says it all. The name is an outstanding name.
Have you seen the film?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's the name says it all. Like, you know, No Fathers in Kashmir, it gets you. Like, you know, when you read about it.
Yeah, I know what a title. Exactly.
Yeah. So how was the shoot? Like, how did, because I remember I was talking to when they were shooting Heather. I mean, like, did you guys actually shoot there, or I mean, like, was it all sets?
No sets at all. We shot in Kashmir, but
I
not
mean,
in
so,
Kashmir
sets
proper.
in rather any
Some
other
of
location.
some of it was shot in Kashmir, but most of it was not, because when we wanted to shoot the film, that whole incident with the Burhan Wani
Yeah.
thing had just happened. He had just been,
Yeah. Yeah.
what you call it, killed. Not
Yeah.
just been, but he'd been killed, and those 8 months after he was killed were extremely bad for Kashmir, so nobody went there. So we were told, don't go to Kashmir to shoot. So we couldn't shoot most of the film in Kashmir. We shot it slightly outside Kashmir, but in Kashmir it stayed, slightly outside Kashmir proper, like not in the Srinagar area, not in the valley, not in the actual valley, a little outside the valley. And that was one of the most difficult shoots I've ever done, because the place where we shot didn't have any hotels. Really, it had some strange hotels which were really not able to. So what they did was they created a hotel in a building, and they brought the cooks and the drivers and everybody from Kashmir. So they actually just set it all up there. So that was quite a feat, but it was freezing cold. It was like November. We shot it in November, December. I remember, I think the temperature in my room was about 5 degrees in the day. I used to, any day I was not shooting, I couldn't sit in my room because it was too cold. And there would be no electricity, because the minute the unit left, they would switch off their generator. So the freezing cold, there was no electric blanket, you could not sit. So I used to go to the set just to sit in the sun. Because in the day there was sun, and then that you could keep warm. So the director used to say, why have you come to set? I said, because it's freezing. I can't sit in my room.
Exactly.
So it was a very exhausting shoot because of that. You were always tired because of the cold. And but it was great fun, because it was great, lovely actors and great director, lovely script, lovely unit, and we all just basically had to get the job done.
It received critical acclaim. It was taken very well. So that's always a good thing after all this hard work. When people get the point. So that's
everybody believed in the film. So it was something that people certainly wanted to be a part of.
Correct. And how was Razi? Like, how was? I think that was the first time you worked with Alia, right?
I think it's the first and only time. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So how was that? Like, on the set, like, was it? Was she nervous? Was you nervous? Or you were daunting her? What are you doing? You're doing right or wrong? How was that experience?
Actually, I don't know if she was nervous. I think we were both a little bit nervous on the first day, but the minute we did the first shot, then we were not nervous at all. We were fine. And after the shoot got over, she sent me a very sweet present with a card, where she said that how much she enjoyed working with me. Of course, that we knew, but because we both enjoyed it so much. But she said that I realized from the way you work, that I'm so much like you on set. I realized how much I'm like you. That was for me so touching, and so it was so
it was just like you regularly are. It was just like you, or you did you have that in mind? Go, this is my daughter. That's what I'm playing. So I'm just gonna use that. Maneka, did you in the shoot, like, did you you have, obviously you had it in your mind, you have that relationship already. So let me use some of that chemistry, and that helped.
I don't know really. I don't know. I never overthink. Obviously, because we are mother and daughter, I think we didn't have to think too much about acting with each other. I think it would be just something which was very easy for us, simply because we already know each other so well. We're not awkward with each other, so there's no awkwardness.
Correct.
We were already starting from here as opposed to here. So
yeah, exactly.
I'm sure that's just natural,
Exactly. When you started in Hindi cinema, कोई कभी इस तरह हुआ कि you felt as an outsider, because you're born and brought up in England. So how long did it take you to break that ice, to be comfortable in Hindi cinema?
Actually, I'm born in UK, but when I was 3 months old, I came to live in India. So I've lived all my life in India.
Okay, okay,
I'm
okay,
very
okay, okay,
comfortable
okay.
in India already,
Okay.
but but having said that, the Indian film industry was, as I said, very alien to me. It was
Mm.
as alien to me as it would be to somebody from any place which has no connection with films and had
Mm.
absolutely no idea what a film set would be
Mm.
like, what the people
Mm.
would be like, what the
Mm.
protocols were, what the
Mm.
little rituals are. So
Correct.
obviously, initially, it was all very new, but
Mm.
I didn't find it intimidating for a second. I just, because it was where I
Mm.
wanted to be. I
Mm.
felt so comfortable in my
Mm.
skin the minute I was
Mm.
on any set or on any
Mm.
stage. I felt this is
Mm.
where I belong. This is my
Mm.
world. And it never
Mm.
for a second really felt like a new world or an alien world. I remember
Mm.
feeling so comfortable. So when you feel comfortable in a
Correct.
place, you know,
Correct.
like if you're an architect, you're comfortable in a building, you know,
Yes.
climbing up a half-made building or whatever. So I think it just
Correct.
depends on
Mm. Mm.
what is your calling, what does your heart
Mm.
want to do,
Mm.
and then how you know, and then when you're there, when you're doing it, it's
Mm.
great. Yeah.
Mm. There's Oreo, my co-host. He's saying hello.
Oh, how cute! What a gorgeous Persian cat.
Yeah, Persian, I think it's a rag doll.
No, looks fully
Yeah, because
Persian.
its ears are a little more pointier than usually the Persians are. So
So
I think
is it
it's
a he or a she?
it's a
He or
he.
she? What's his
He.
name?
Oreo.
Lovely. What a lovely color. What a
Yeah.
color.
Yeah, that's
Beautiful.
why we call him Oreo. It reminds us of the cookie.
Yeah.
So what is your future plans? Like, do you have anything that you really want to do and some role that you want to play? होती है ना कि एक रहती है कि भाई आपने कुछ करना है, like, you know, there's some goal. So what is Soni Razdan thinking? Like, what does he want to do in the next 5 years?
So definitely a lot more acting work.
Hmm.
Uh,
Any
I
certain
have
roles,
just
any certain kind of a character that you always, you know, you're after कि भाई, you know, कि ये इस तरह का character कोई हो जो मैं करूं.
no, not really. I think what I'd like to do is probably a really good web series, an international
Hmm.
web series where the role is really good. You know, where
Hmm.
there's some meat to the role. That for
Hmm.
me would be like an ideal thing to do.
Hmm.
So I'm working towards that. I'd love to do that. I'd also love to do. I'd also love to direct something.
Hmm.
I am developing a few things,
Okay.
and I hope that at least one or two of them see the light of day in the
Hmm.
next 5 years. 5 years is a long
Hmm.
time, but it's not a very long time in terms of getting
For
projects
directing,
off the
it's
ground.
not. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
Yeah,
For
it takes a
directing,
long
it's not a
time.
long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you know this thing takes very long. So I'm
Hmm.
hoping that at least by 5 years, at least something should have come off, you know, come off the
Hmm.
ground. I
Hmm.
haven't had the time to focus on it all this time because I've always been too
Hmm.
busy the last couple of
Hmm.
years. I've just
Hmm.
done a play in London. I was in London for 3 months. That was a
Yeah, I
wonderful
was reading
experience.
about it. Tell us about it. Jo wo play tha, like, how was that?
Huh.
Like, what was it
That
about?
was really interesting because it's a theater in London which does a lot of theater. I mean, it does a lot of, it's, I wouldn't say it's not a West End theater, but it's a very
Hmm.
well-known theater. So people who
Okay.
live in London, not tourists,
Hmm.
but people who actually live in London, go to
Hmm.
that theater a lot because they
Is
always
it in
have an
central London?
it is in London. It's near Swiss Cottage, near St John's Wood, that area.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's called the Kiln, Kiln Theatre. It used to be called the
Okay.
Tricycle Theatre. It's one of those
Okay.
very interesting theatres where, and every 6 weeks to 2 months they have a new play coming up. They
Hmm.
produce their own plays. They have lovely
Hmm.
rehearsal rooms. They have great
Hmm.
teams going. And
Hmm.
the play that I did was actually a play written by an Indian playwright. She's based in Chennai. The play was also based in Chennai. It's called
Hmm.
When the Crows Visit,
Hmm.
and the theme was abuse.
Okay.
So it was about abuse in a
Okay.
family and
Okay.
how it gets perpetuated because people don't
Hmm.
address it and people don't stop it. So how
Sure.
abuse perpetuates from a father down to a son, and then finally with disastrous consequences. And I played a
Correct.
grandmother in that who was
Hmm.
supposed to be 80, but I think I didn't look 80, but 75 for sure. Yeah. And it was amazing. It was
That
really
must be
amazing.
one hell of a task for the makeup man to
No,
make you look
there was
healthy.
no makeup, man. I did my own makeup. This is
Oh,
theater.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I
wow.
was able to wear a wig. That was the only thing I got, which was helpful. But yeah,
Mm,
it's all about theater is like that. You know, you do a lot of the time you do your own makeup, you do a lot of everything yourself. So it's that kind of
mm,
thing. But it was
mm,
such a great experience. Great
mm,
director, wonderful cast, and now I have a
mm.
manager in London also, an agent in London also. So I'm hoping to get more work there. So
That's
now
great.
I'm looking for the next 5 years to really. Unfortunately,
Mm.
this COVID has come at the time when I want to be traveling the
Yeah,
most. But I'm
yeah.
sure that everything will fall into place eventually by the end of the
Correct,
year, and we'll be able to
correct,
start doing things that we aren't able to do right now. So
correct, correct.
once that all opens up, then
Mm.
hoping to spread my wings and make the world my
Soar,
oyster. Hopefully, yeah.
soar again. Your one other film was also in London, now, the one with Akshay Kumar and Rishi Kapoor. You were
Patiala House.
Patiala
Patiala
House.
House. Yeah,
Correct,
yeah,
correct. That
that's
was
right.
also set in London.
Yeah, we shot in London. That's true.
Uh,
Got a
Hounslow, I
lot of
think. Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. So tell us, like, what with your life, after like films, like with you and Mahesh Saab, like, what do you guys do for R&R? Like, do you guys like to read books together, travel? Like, what is your the secret of a good life together?
I think the secret of our good life together is that we stay out of each other's way
Mm,
as much as we can, and we
mm,
meet strategically. So we meet for lunch, we meet for dinner, we meet for tea, we meet for breakfast, jo bhi hai.
mm,
And we meet
mm,
sometimes during the day, of course,
mm,
because I think if you're home all day together,
mm, mm.
it can be either be fighting or you can be
Yeah,
not fighting. So yeah,
yeah,
so you got to be
correct.
careful about that.
Mm,
And I think we like both of us love reading,
mm,
so we read books, we talk about that. He
mm,
doesn't like to travel really much, but
mm,
we have a farmhouse, so we go
mm,
there whenever we can.
mm,
Of course, now we
mm.
cannot go there, but
Yeah,
as soon as we can, when we're allowed to go, then we definitely will take a short
mm,
trip there because I haven't been there for 3 months, and
yeah.
I have 3 doggies over there. I have to go and check on them and see that they're
Oh
okay.
wow, who's taking care of them?
I have somebody there, but yeah,
Oh,
it's after all, it's a house, and a house needs to
yeah,
be
yeah.
looked in on.
Do you
So yeah,
FaceTime the
hoping
dogs?
to be able to do that. Huh?
Do you FaceTime the dogs?
No, they are.
Uh-huh.
They're not. Yeah, they're stray dogs. They're like sweethearts. They're really sweet. Yeah, we just adopted all of them. So we're looking after them, and they look after us, and they're very very sweet. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. What's your favorite holiday destination? If you, for example, after Corona, like, अगर you have to choice, है कि भाई, there's one place you can go. So which one would that be? Just like that, ज़हन में एकदम.
Just like that, probably somewhere like the Maldives because it's really close. It's close
Okay.
by now. There's a direct flight, so uh, it's a beautiful place, and that's of
Hmm.
course like a sweet little
Hmm.
bubble type of place. Another place has always been London because that's a place where again it's a direct flight away, and we love London.
Hmm.
Our family loves London, but
Hmm.
I'd really like to go to
Any
anywhere
place
in
you have not
Europe,
been?
really. Greece, huh?
Any place you have not been?
Many places. I haven't been to Greece yet.
Hmm.
Um, I haven't been to the uh, west coast of
Okay.
America.
California, no
Yeah.
California?
Sorry. Yeah. And
No,
in fact,
no
we were
California.
planning to go there this year because a friend's daughter was getting married. But that
Hmm.
plan is off now. So we were
Hmm.
planning to go and have a long trip. Yeah. And Italy, I love Italy, although I've been there, but there are a lot of places in Italy I haven't been to, like the
Yeah.
Amalfi Coast and all that.
Ah.
So we were going to
Hmm.
go for my nephew's wedding to Lake Como. That again, we
Okay.
can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
True,
place I
true.
haven't been to either. So there are all these
Hmm.
places which are waiting for us to explore
There's
them.
our friend Michelle Bonav. She's an Italian actress. She's right now in the session and she's telling you to come to Rome.
Yeah, Rome is so beautiful, and where have I been? We went this last summer. My
Hmm.
daughter and I we went to Tuscany Florence.
Mm,
So
mm,
beautiful, so beautiful. Oh my God. I mean, it's got,
mm,
it's too beautiful to just see once. You have to go, keep
mm.
going back, and
Laid
and
back
Italy is one
lifestyle.
of the most beautiful places I've ever been to. It
Yeah, it is.
really
It
is.
is. It is.
It's called
Hopefully,
seriously beautiful place.
yeah, they've been hit hard, so hopefully they'll be open soon and they'll be able to,
I think so. They will be, because they'll have come
mm,
down
mm.
from that peak.
Exactly. So you have a lot of fans here. So I'll read some of the messages for you as well. Rohi Saab saying I was lucky to see the play. It was fabulous, and your performance was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Um,
So nice
yeah.
of you.
Malik Sameer Saab says I think performing live on stage is entirely a different experience. The live interaction with audience gives you a different high. And then Yusra is here from Karachi, so she's also saying hi. Yusra
Yusra,
Asli. Yeah.
Eid Mubarak, Yusra. Nice to see you. I've been
Yeah.
meaning to message you all day. Abhi chalo, mauka mil gaya.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
saying hello, and there's a lot of fans from Pakistan. They're saying, we love your work, and especially Razi, they
Thank
loved
you
it.
so much. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you. Love you. Love you. Love
But
you.
tell us before we let you go, last final three questions. One is like your favorite two movies from Bollywood and two from Hollywood.
Ah, it's impossible to choose favorite movies.
I mean, like, see, if you're stuck in the house, like you're stuck right now, right? और कोई choice नहीं है, Netflix froze हो गया, आपके पास सिर्फ DVDs हैं, आपने कोई दो DVDs तो उठानी है, चाहे वो पहले भी देखी नहीं. So which one would you pick?
Very difficult. I don't know. I can
वो
never
चल नहीं
choose
रहा
favorite
घड़ी,
movie.
चल
I
ही नहीं
love
रहा
so many
Netflix.
movies. Huh?
Netflix चल नहीं रहा, choice नहीं है, so you have to pick two.
No, it's impossible. I can't pick two of anything. I love too many things.
चले your कोई दो, like the two top that come to your mind.
No, so I think one of my all-time favorite Western films is a classic, Dr. Zhivago. I just love
Dr.
that movie.
Zhivago.
Yeah, and there's another film which is called The End of the Affair, and it's one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen.
Okay.
It's based on a book by Graham Greene,
Okay.
and it's beautifully acted, and with Ralph Fiennes in it, I think. So, anyways, one of the most beautiful films that I've ever seen. So, I would say
Okay.
those two for now. Indian
Okay.
films, so बाप रे, कैसे choose करें?
कोई दो,
Impossible. Huh?
कोई दो ज़हन में तो आ जाए जो 1 मिनट.
No, I like too many. I like too many. So I will not say about the Indian films because.
What was the last one you saw? चलो इस तरह कर लेते हैं.
God, I've got a very bad memory. Something in the theater I did see.
अच्छा.
I can't remember what it is because it was in between. COVID has come and scrambled up my brain. So whatever released in January and February, out of those movies, I saw 2 or 3 of them. I don't remember what they were. Sorry. Apologies to all the wonderful directors who make some great films. I saw Shubh Mangal. Yeah, Shubh Mangal Zyada Savdhan, I remember, because my friend was in it. Yeah. And then I saw some really good films. Article 15 was a really good film.
Yes.
And what is the other film I saw? Some very good films I've seen before the lockdown happened. There were some extremely good films that released.
Article 15 was a good film. It was indeed
It was
good.
very good film. Yeah.
It was a very good film. You listen to mostly Hindi songs or English?
Both, a mix.
Mix. Okay.
A mix.
Okay. I mean, so which one are you gonna sing for us?
Songs are so good. I mean, they're amazing. And English songs are always on the list that comes. But Hindi songs are what you connect to with your heart immediately. So and then they're playing, in the they're playing around you and all that. So they become part of your life. Yeah.
Correct. They do. So which one are you gonna sing for us?
No, I can't sing. No.
Bhatt Sahab promised me this morning. मैंने उनसे पूछा मेरी ईदी कहाँ है? So he said I'm gonna sing a song for you tonight. So you have to get him. So he has to come on the show.
He's not here, but yeah, because I've come to this place, but he can, yeah, no, but yeah, he can sing for you tomorrow for sure. Let him do.
Say, and any two books that you would recommend for our viewers?
Yeah, I mean, lots of books. Right now, I'm reading a really good book by a writer called Jeffrey Archer, a very famous writer called Jeffrey Archer.
Okay.
Clifton Chronicles. So, I mean, I've just realized what a brilliant writer Jeffrey Archer is after all these years. And I'm reading The White Mughals from by William Dalrymple. I'm reading a book right now called Asura, which is a very interesting book. So that's that, and there's another book which I just wanted to figure out.
Did you read The Anarchy? The Anarchy?
Not yet. Dalrymple, not yet. I'm trying to read that. It's there on my shelf. There's so many of them. Yeah. One of the books which is I'm waiting to read. Yeah, and then one or two which are really fun books, but as usual I can't remember the name just offhand. But they're all on my Kindle. Some really good books.
Okay. Yeah. And are you into poetry?
Not really, no, not too much.
Not even English, not Urdu.
Not really. I mean, there was a phase in your life when you're into poetry and things like that. But right now, I think literature, more than movies and television, I prefer literature. I prefer reading a good book. Because
books take you places.
There's a fabulous book, it's called Eleanor Oliphant is really fine or something like that. Eleanor Oliphant. If anybody gets that book, read it. It's so funny, you'll love it. So that's one book which I can recommend to read. And of course, my all-time favorite book is God of Small Things, written by Arundhati Roy, which is one of the best books that I've ever read.
Correct.
I mean, when it comes to books, there are too many, There are too many.
That is true.
40 Rules of Love, another brilliant book.
Yes.
So many.
It is true. All right. Thank you so much for giving us so much time. It was wonderful. And you have to tell Bhatt Sahab he owes us a song that he has to sing for us.
Sure. He can sing, for sure.
Yeah, he loves to sing. He sang for us. लेकिन मैंने आज का मुझे हिंदी दे तो कहते हैं मैं गाना सुना दूँगा. That's fine.
ठीक है. You can call him up tomorrow and make him sing. Anyway,
thank you very much. And any message that you have for your fans from India, Pakistan, US, UK? They're all here.
Oh well, thank you so much for looking in on this show. Love you guys and take care, stay safe. This is a really tough time for all of us, so just take care of yourself. Never mind what anybody says, you've got to look after yourself, and it's the only way we're going to get through this is by looking after ourselves, because in looking after oneself you look after the other. So all the best to you guys and lots of love. Take care, stay safe. That's it.
Thank you so much again. It was wonderful having you for so much time. I know it was amazing, and thank you so much for always supporting our work. I know you always keep on supporting our work. The foundation.
You do such amazing work, so have to support.
No, it means a lot.
As well.
It means a lot. Thank you so much. Bye. Thank you, viewers, for joining for our amazing session with Soni Raza. It was amazing to hear her. And it was great to talk to her and great to hear what she had to say about her life, about her journey. And see you tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. Just like she said, stay safe, stay inside. Only listen to doctors. Don't listen to anyone else, because they know what is needed right now. Nobody else has any idea but the doctors and medical professionals. It's a very hard time, and so it's better to listen to them rather than getting sick. So take care. See you tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. for another comfort session. Khuda Hafiz.
Khuda Hafiz.
Khuda Hafiz.